things and nobody's pushed record.
That's right. All the best jokes happen right before the record button was hit, which I just hit. So I hope we're ready. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Mental, you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, my music is not ready. It was at the end of the song.
Oh, check it off your bingo card.
216 times.
Check it off your bingo
want to say
card.
And now it's too loud. All right.
Yeah.
Someday I'm going to figure out, like, I have a radio degree, how to actually play.
Still a little loud.
Just don't adjust the radio. Just pull back.
Yeah.
Oh, I like doing it just the radio. Anyway, welcome to
hate it.
Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Lemma Champ or Lucky Track Dog League you run, SCC or NASA, we won't discriminate, as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussions, tips, tricks, news and notes in the world of amateur endurance racing, and whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, or we're lucky enough and Chrissy gives us just the tip, we're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental.
And we are Everyone Racers. Thanks for coming back and listening to a Cleveland Rocks episode. I have no idea which one of us wrote this. That must have been Mental because he's pumping his fists furiously.
Cleveland Rocks.
That was a good show.
Safety pin.
Wow, you know more than those words.
Anyway, it kept going.
216, the number of the episode, happens to be the area code for Cleveland and most of the inner suburban areas. Sure, we could have gone with Rover 216, the first British-built Honda, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure Chris would have loved that. But it was just a badge Rover 200 built from 1989 to 1995 under 2 generations. That's not as cool as Cleveland Rocks. So let's talk Cleveland Rocks. Hey, if you're not driving a Honda Rover bastardization, grab your E1R bingo card and check it out. Remember, if it doesn't look new, hit the buttons up top. New card. Thank you. What you working on? I'm so excited to make fun of you.
I wonder who he's talking about.
Mental, tell us what you did because you're stupid. Not stupid. I'm not going to say that. Tell me what you did because you're a masochist.
Yeah. So I spent the weekend at Willow Springs Raceway working with the Vera organization. I talked about going to Vera U this past summer. One of my friends, Jesse Kilgore, is driving the car that we raced at Thunderhill a few years ago. And having completed Vera U, he now got a provisional Vera competition license, which does transfer to NASA and SCCA. And he needed to successfully complete 2 races, which he did on Saturday and Sunday, and actually did quite well. He was still on like the tires that are race slicks that are 2 years old on that car. So he actually did a really good job and managed to keep the car on the track and didn't poke anybody with anything. And so
refresh our memory. What was the car? It was a
BMW E46 330 sedan that we gotten out of a BMW repair shop in Chicago.
Got it. I thought it was something older than that. I seem to remember, but I guess I was wrong.
Gloria. And Mark Francis, who heads that whole thing, was there in his BMW 2002, which runs B sedan. I got to catch up with my buddy Sam and some other folks, but it's always been called the Mark Francis Racing and Catering Team, emphasis on the catering. So of course there was lamb chops and turkey and just, oh God, you just eat so well there. And Mark Francis Racing is co-located with the Seven Caves Distillery in San Diego. So there's plenty of really good whiskey. So lots of good times that happen with there.
When are you going to talk about the stuff that I'm going to make fun of you about?
While I was there on Facebook Marketplace, because you set your geo to it, there was an hour away in Bakersfield, California, a Porsche 928 that had a stick shift. And I've got one that won't come out of first gear, and it's an automatic. So I thought, why not? I made the guy an insulting offer, and he came back with a slightly less insulting offer. So now there are 2 928s at my house. One has a title and runs. The other one absolutely does not, but has a really nice set of wheels on it. And ideally a transaxle that I can swap into my automatic and make run.
Here's a question for you. Quantify the amount of money you have in 928s in your garage right now.
Okay.
Are we talking like used Honda? Are we talking a good set of tires? Are we talking a nice Apple laptop? Like, give me the equivalent of what you would pay.
Between respectable used Honda and good set of race tires. For what I have in those two 928s, you cannot find a 928.
Well bought, sir.
Jeff, you're being hard
on
on
the one
him.
that runs.
You're being too hard on him. Mental has a well-documented history of completing large projects promptly and on budget. So
I have no budget for this. So yeah,
at
Right.
least he has a caring, loving wife who will not harass him daily about the projects.
Oh no,
Yeah, absolutely, because his house is
Oh, like-
his house is done. His
I
house
got
needs
in
nothing.
the door and we had that conversation.
His house doesn't need any
Yeah.
work. It's fine.
Yeah.
The wheels on this car are actually worth what I paid for it.
Nice. Well, I'm jealous. Totes jelly. I wish I could litter my life with crappy Porsches. But I'm not allowed.
But you have
Does this make 4 crappy Porsches in your ownership at this point?
Let's go with 3.5. But yes.
Okay. Okay, good.
And tomorrow I leave for MSR Houston, which we'll talk about here in a bit. We'll be working the Lemons race down there. Looking forward to it. Haven't seen Jerry Ringel and that whole crew. They'll be down there. Breaking Bad team will be down there. Of course, Battle Scarred Motorsports. Tetanus is bringing some amazing things,
That's
2
so good.
of which are retiring after this race. So looking forward to seeing that whole crew. And then of course, Sajeev. Get to work with Judge Sajeev. So that's going to be fantastic.
May the Ford be with you.
Yes. What kind of random Ford will he bring? Let's find out.
Honestly, if he drives it, he let me drive that Mark 8. Oh my God. I've said this 100 times. That car did not leave the factory as nice as Sajeev has that right now. It is a glorious Lincoln.
Yeah,
Mark 8.
like the air suspension works for like half an hour.
Oh no, all of his work better than in the factory. And then he's got his Continental that he had like the paint corrected on, and he's got the digital dash on that and the velour interior. Yeah. Yeah. Sajeev does some amazing things with 80s Fords.
Somebody got to do it.
Yes.
Chris, what you working on?
I think Chrissy should go first.
No,
Oh.
I think Chris should
Oh.
go first. This is the problem when we do the same things. We were very productive this weekend. We spent Saturday at the garage, our off-site storage garage. We got the SM running again for pictures, and we fixed a leaky hose. We fixed the leaky hose twice and then replaced it because it kept leaking.
Yeah.
We had the Wakeman Valdez. It was awesome.
It's the name.
I
Leaky
wasn't
Hose.
even there.
I know,
Still
but-
named after me.
But we
But-
brought supplies this time.
Oh,
so-
that's good.
We brought a trailer is what we
Yeah.
did. So when we brought the Mazda over, we swapped the Mazda for Godzilla, but we had the trailer full of parts and everything that we bring to races. So we had all the things available
Spares.
to us. Yeah. That we needed. Which it wasn't much actually. Lots of paper towels. The pan that our fueling pan to catch all of the
Yes, because
trans
the
fluid that went
plastic
everywhere.
battery tray was not the greatest catcher of transmission fluid. What
No.
is that transmission fluid? Is it automatic? Is it like ATF-y kind of?
Yeah,
like?
it's type F ATF, like for an
Okay.
old Ford.
I didn't know if they were sharing with the hydraulic system in there or not.
No, not
No.
at that point.
No. So it was productive though. We brought it out. Made some beauty pictures, and it hopefully will be posted sometime soon. So we're very excited about getting that out of here. On Sunday we pulled a 17. Yes,
Sorry,
go ahead.
'cause We've been emailed twice by a team interested in that. So make sure we get that link, and we'll be putting that on.
Oh,
when
yes.
you guys get on, bring.
We will be pimping that link.
Yes.
It will be everywhere.
Yeah,
And-
well, with the pretty glamour shots we got, the bid nerds guys told us, it's got to be a nice day, nothing around it, nothing in the background, just nice.
It was
we did all
perfect.
that. We got some good glamour shots of it per their recommendations. So
We had a great time of trying to figure out, is it in drive, reverse, or neutral? Because the shift is broken. Yep.
Yeah, the
so
shift
we had
cable
to
is broken.
play the push the gas. Okay, that's not it.
Which way does it
Okay,
go?
you're going backwards. Okay, that's what it is. So by the end, we figured out which way we were going. You could kind of listen to the engine and trans, and you could figure out which way it was going. So that was successful. Awesome. The pictures look great. So we swapped. We put the Mazda in the garage. We brought the Godzilla home to be dismantled. That right now there's not enough room in the garage, so we are going to leave it there for a little bit. We pull on Sunday. We spent a great day doing a lot of yard work. We pulled 17 stumps out with snow flak. And
where do you even have 17 stumps?
We didn't. We had 5. 1, 2.
We had 4.
5. 4. We had 4, yeah. Right?
And then you pulled them all for the neighbors.
Oh, yes, true.
Two different neighbors.
Our neighbor had 4 and the other neighbor had 4. Or I don't know how I wasn't involved in the other set, but we pulled them
off. I'm going to say, way to go, Snowflake.
Way to go, Snowflake. We got a new rebuilt gauge cluster because we were having the same problem that it was draining the battery. So we sent that away and brought it back and reinstalled it, which was great. It has a radio. What?
Snowflake has a radio?
What?
Well, it had a radio its whole time, but Mental broke the antenna off several years ago here trying to break into the truck that he locked his keys into.
It's been a while since we've talked about Snowflake. Can we just go over
while it was running, by the way, yes.
Can we just go over what the history of this vehicle is? So Mental owned this 1500 Suburban, right?
2004 1500 Suburban. Bought it with...
White.
Yes, bought it in Nebraska right after I came back from deployment from a dealer there. We were the second owners. Z71, drove it for another almost 100,000 miles, was going to put it on Craigslist when the Chris and Chrissy mentioned that Chrissy's mom and dad were looking for a beach
of cookie fame.
And knowing that it was going to Chris, I think I made a good price on it. And he flew down, drove it home with no air conditioning and a driver's side door window that wouldn't go down in the summer. Well, spring.
It was great. Yeah. And I proceeded to fix all of the things that Mental hadn't fixed.
Continue to do so.
Continue to, right. So the radio antenna, the stub of it that the antenna screws onto broke off. That stub is part of a wiring harness that goes behind the dash. It requires most of the dash to be removed to replace that little stub. So instead of that, I ground it down flat, a little below flat, drilled it, tapped it, made a stud, Loctited the stud into it, and then I can screw an antenna into it. So the radio works now. So they're super excited to have a working actual terrestrial radio.
In my defense, had I known it was going to them, I would have fixed that antenna, but I figured I was selling it to someone who was just going to...
Some flatbread lunatic.
Yeah.
All right, you can continue. Go ahead.
The other thing about the gauge cluster and stuff I can rebuild is now you can tell what gear you're in without counting. Like from park,
Now, when did that happen? Because it was fine.
Pretty early on.
Okay.
It was dim and it got worse. So,
but it was small joys. My mom got in. She was like, I know I'm in drive. It was awesome.
Yeah. What else? I finished the Corvette's rear wheel bearings. They're hub bearing assemblies, like many things are. And when I took the right rear one apart, I could grab the hub part and just pulled it with my hand, and it came out of with the bearing race. And so, that was due 44,000 miles. Is apparently the lifespan of the original wheel bearings on the 84 Corvette.
44,000 miles over how many years though? 28. I mean,
30. No, 84.
Yeah, I honestly,
37.
I would argue what probably did it in was not the mileage. It was the not driving, sitting.
The sitting. Got Chrissy's mom's Mazda 5 in the garage. Did a control arm and an EGR valve and some maintenance on that. And shock top hat that's getting inspected today. It all should be set.
I also power wash.
Yes.
I love power washing.
What did you power wash?
You do love some power
I do
washing.
love power washing. Our stoop. So since we removed the 2 very large bee-filled trees that are
I know which
out front,
trees they are.
I know you know that which trees they are. They're all gone. Not all of them are gone out front, but the bee-filled ones are gone. And so our stoop looked terrible. It still looks
they were
not
like
great.
overgrown and squished in between stuff anyway. They were
They were
planted
half,
way too close to each other.
and half dead because we that one was actually filled with bees. Then we tried to almost burn it down, except it was too close to our house. So we tried to do everything else that would. Anyway, so I did the stoop and the little sidewalk next to the house.
It was filled
And the utility trailer
And the utility trailer. I forgot about that too.
looks brand new now again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. The Cub Scout, the brand new trailer that
Jeff broke the day they bought it. Yes, that's the one.
It's been sitting getting moldy and dirty and as
Under
we've
the tree.
used it occasionally since then. So cleaning it off worked great. Anyway.
It makes a great workopbench when I'm building things.
Oh, it totally does. Yeah, that's why it's got
all
a little,
the time.
An
it's
outdoor
got a little
workbench.
overspray on it because we all do stuff over there. Yep. Great.
All right, Jeff, what are you working on?
So I had a forest in my house that was looking like a lawn, but it had grown like knee deep because of all the things I've been doing lately.
because you said in your house.
At my house. I'm sorry. At my house.
Because there have been some instances in your house.
No,
outside
nothing
of
like
your
that.
control.
Yeah.
You had a
The
lake
floods,
that you
the whole
didn't
9
ask for.
yards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So no. I had delayed the final cutting of lawn for so long. It had gotten completely out of hand. And I went to start the lawn tractor and it was like, no, I'm not doing it, buddy. It's not happening.
Your dogs couldn't fit like they did last time?
No. So
watch that video. I'm going to link that. Just gonna link that
we'll link
here.
that right there.
Right there.
I know I am Mangala of the small moat engine. If they enter my abode, they are going to die. Yeah. So it took me like 4 hours to figure out how to get the charging system to work on this damn thing. I don't even know what that other thing is. It's like not like an alternator. It's like a small. Yeah,
I believe it is a stator.
Stator. Yes, that thing is. I hate them. Small motors can die.
Most motorcycles operate on that principle.
Yeah. What the hell is a stator? It's all fixed.
Airplanes too. So.
Yeah, whatever. Just put in alternator.
Or magnetos,
But yeah. So anyway, that's all fixed. And I ended up not having to buy anything. It's just had to like rewire and things. But anyway, so I speaking of the house flood, I also put a bunch more together of the office, including building all kinds of shelves in a closet that just, held like coats. And now it's going to hold all of the wife's stuff. So I now have a closet for race stuff. Oh, look at that. The vinyls I have extra.
That's
so excited.
nice.
It's so exciting.
It really is. As you should.
And then she said,
how long till it stays clean?
Oh,
and
it's not going to get
organized?
clean because I'm like winterizing all of my race gear to put in there and it's going to just get immediately filled. So, but anyway, yeah. I also did LEDs everywhere, including under my son's hidey hole because LEDs are the most important thing in a 13-year-old's life. So, yeah. So he has underbed fort and now has lights that will dance to his phone and he can yell at Alexa, turn the lights on to dance. Whatever.
I have to laugh because I feel like you have neon lights under your car and you said the same thing and it had a little remote.
Hilarious.
So Apple doesn't fall far.
No, but his old ones died and those you had to go push the button to get it to change things. He had like a little remote control and you can never find the remote control in a 13-year-old room because it's like a giant picked up a shipping container and shook it. It's just like,
and then he's also dealing with genetics of being a wakeman.
Explosions of trash. So now that he has it, that's all the app on his phone to change it. He's very excited.
But I am going to, you dismiss that as whatever. That's really cool. All right. He may not realize it, but when he's in his 20s and he's be like, man, I remember my dad set up dancing LEDs in my room. That's how much my dad loved me. You're a good father.
I said, well, he's like 14 and he's like, there's a place where I can hide from my parents. That's why I built it. So nobody wants a teenager in the house. They're terrible. Anyway, news and notes time.
So while we were broadcasting live from the RacingJunk.com booth at SEMA last week, we talked briefly about Ford's new crate EV motor. In addition, Chevy has one, and there's some other stuff. And don't forget about the Ampere, which is a Mike White. But to highlight this technology, Ford put it in this beautiful 76 F100. You can find a link to that on Hooniverse as well as Haggerty. And apparently that marketing ploy worked because, quote, demand has exceeded expectations, says Emma Bird from Ford's electric vehicle communications team. Now, if you're still looking for a $3,900, 281 horsepower electric motor for the Blue Oval Classic in your garage, good news. Berg has said that although the units are now out of stock, interested customers can sign up to be notified when they are open to taking orders again. And that's all over from the folks at Haggerty, and a link to that article is in our show notes. They also offer this take, Haggerty does. For some, the idea of an electric crate motor is about as exhilarating as a dash to the grocery store for some milk. But for a large portion of the car community, the prospect of an e-crate motor simply means their favorite silhouettes and classics have a chance for a longer life. They also added, and we have to agree, that this sellout shows that the industry's appetite for a well-executed, accessible e-crate motor is there. And I would expect to see all kinds of other people follow on with this. And I do think this is going to give new life to a lot of old cars. And it does make that Lemons electric prize a lot more accessible.
Thanks for shilling for Ford for 20 minutes. I'm sure the first ones will be delivered right about the same time they're done to those Broncos.
Yep. Sadly,
Chevy has a small block EV. We showed that one on there. I think Ampere has a brilliant setup for what they're doing there. You can check them out on all their social medias, but competition does improve the breed. The Ford one was highlighted because that's the one that they've got in their new Mach-E, the Mustang Mach-E Extreme. So it is super quick. And if you start throwing it in something lightweight, you've got a fast car. And $3,900 for a functioning power plant, especially 280 horsepower, is incredible. Battery is going to set you back, but still.
I'll figure it out.
Inverters.
Traction,
no, that's
Yeah. Okay. New technology makes new cars so smart that they're going to realize if you are drunk. So as part of the $1.2 trillion infrastructure plan, there are a few add-ons in addition to the new fancy bridges and roads with less holes. Yes.
I was going to say, thank you, Brandon.
Less roads with less holes. One of them is one of these add-ons is the rear seat reminder becoming standard to help prevent hot car deaths. Did you know this? While the other more significant change in the scale of fatalities per year is the automakers must figure out a way to make their vehicles detect intoxicated drivers. Peter Holdreth from The Drive explains that the bill doesn't say how automakers are going to have to do this. They just need to do it. It says that the car must, quote, passively monitor the performance of the driver for a motor vehicle to accurately identify whether the driver may be impaired, but also must passively and accurately detect whether blood alcohol concentration of the driver of the motor vehicle is equal to or greater than blood concentration of the blah, 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 whatever, all of that's, all the technical. Yeah. Right. Speaking of lawyers, we don't know how lawyers are going to interpret the actual language of the law, but it seems that most are going to be left up to the automakers, maybe adding some of the systems that are to detect drowsiness is one of the ideas. We're just going to have to wait and see. And
or order a new EV crate motor and never buy a new car again.
That too. Or just don't drive drunk, and that's fine too.
Your stupid car. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah. I'm sure it's going to be terrible when it first rolls out, and we're all going to hate it, like motorized seat belts or all those other things that were just terrible when they first came out.
Motorized seat belts still suck. That's why nobody has them.
But I'm saying, they fixed it. They found a better way to make passive restraints, and we're all safer because of it. The millions of miles are not filled with as many deaths because of it. So I'm thankful.
Good. At least that's
Yep.
And I will swear at whatever they do when I have to like lick the steering wheel so it tests my blood alcohol. Whatever.
Well, wait a minute. You guys don't have to lick your steering wheel to start the car?
I don't like it that you guys lick your steering wheel.
There might be something wrong with one of my Porsches.
You don't have to actually lick the steering wheel. You just lick your palm and put it on the steering wheel, probably. Someone else do another story before we go too deep.
All right. Rivian made its debut today in the U.S. stock market, offering 153 million shares at $78 a pop, a figure higher than initially expected. And their IPO is the largest globally this year, and the estimated 11.9 billion raise makes it the largest IPO for an American company since Facebook. This really is despite a recent wrongful dismissal lawsuit in which a former Rivian executive raised concerns about Rivian's ability to meet sales goals and make money based on its current pricing structure.
My pearls.
Right. Who knew?
They're not going to be able to make as many cars as they say, and they're not going to be as profitable as they say.
Yeah. So apparently they did actually recently begin deliveries of their first production vehicle, the R1T, beating to market the long-delayed Tesla Cybertruck and pickups from legacy automakers Ford and General Motors. But with the R1T now rolling off the line, Rivian has made its much-hyped debut on the stock market. And, their initial valuation is upwards of $77 billion, making it worth almost as much as one of its major backers, Ford.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane that people think Rivian is worth as much as Ford.
Yeah.
I don't know. Put your money in Dogecoin. I'm sure that's better. Speaking of other things that might get you suckered, y'all know this. If you watch the Instagram, you know this. I got suckered into a winter weight loss and racing improvement challenge. Thanks, Bill. Here's the deal.
Actually, yes. Thank you, Bill.
Just shut up.
You're not the one involved.
All skinny people can shut up for a minute.
Oh, shoot.
I'm bitter already. I started today. Here's the deal. 5 hosts from 5 car racing. Actually, here's the deal. 5 hosts from 5 car racing podcasts have agreed that the best way to improve your race car is by fixing the driver. So starting today, we agreed on a gentleman's bet to lose 25 pounds, read, I think it's 5 driver training books, and do a bunch of car racing and iRacing to improve ourselves by April 15th. Yes, I am attempting to lose 25 pounds by April 15th. Okay, what did I agree to? I'm not really sure. If this sounds like fun, you're insane, but you can join us too. On the on the Garage Heroes and Training podcast website, link will be in the show notes. Everything will be up, the rules, and listeners can join from all 5 podcasts. And right around April 15th, we're going to randomly pull some listeners and they're going to get some free swag. All right. Who's in the running? Obviously Bill from Garage Heroes and Training, Jamie, host of Racer FF podcast. Chris, have you ever heard of this podcast? It's a front wheel drive racing podcast.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm going to start listening to all these, by the way.
Totally
John, who is the co-host of 91 Octane podcast, and Adam from Slip Angle podcast are all in the running.
Adam doesn't have 25 pounds to lose.
Yeah, Adam has to get down to like 180 pounds. So
he's already like 7'2".
Look. See this here? Woo! I weighed myself. I started today. I have to get down to 201.
Well, and as
I want 199.
Yeah, as I mentioned to us on the group text / our own little private Slack channel, we plan on posting Jeff's progress every week. So Jeff will be getting on the scale every Wednesday, letting us know how he's doing, because we know how, if you've met Bill, you know how this is going to go. And as I predicted on the text, Bill's going to probably own part of a gym and be a certified personal trainer by the end of this challenge. So I can't let Jeff go in this unarmed and without support. So Jeff, I'm going to be needling you there, homie. And at least one of those hour karting events, you need to fly out here to Vegas because we've got enduro karting.
Because we don't have karting here. I mean, we do, but it's like closes in the winter. So
you got sim options though.
Sim. Indoor karting.
Yeah, I got indoor karting.
You got indoor karting, but do they have the 1 hour long enduros?
I'm sure they do.
It's a requirement. It's a 1 hour sim racing or a 1 hour at least car.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
1
gonna
hour
be doing a lot
sim
of sim.
Yeah, that's right. That's easy.
Fine. That's every Monday. Just go do that.
Yeah, I will say that you already mentioned that Adam is on the skinny side. I'm kind of in the middle. Bill's goal is kind of where I'm at right now. So there's the difference between luxury mammal and Ford LTD 1984 luxury mammal, I guess. Anyway, can I talk about something more interesting that doesn't involve my waistline?
Please.
Yes.
I'm going to tempt you all for a moment. So I found something interesting. It was, we're a new partner with racingjunk.com, and I was playing around with the site today, and I found the most interesting ad that I had to share to everyone. And I want to do an around the horn. I know it's the middle of the show, but it's our sponsor section. A person posted an in search of ad, and he wants a turnkey 6 or 7 second drag car. He's been out of drag racing for a little while, and he sold all of his drag cars, but now he's upset. And, who doesn't after, 5 or 6 years of selling your race cars want something back. So he has some specific ones that he lists on the ad. But the interesting part is he's listing a bunch of stuff for trade. He clearly owns a wacky dealership that is like some sort of meth infested, I buy what I want and F everybody else like thing. And I want you to tell me which of these things interests you the most. Okay. I'm going to share screen here, and I'm going to do like a moment of, I'm going to flip through the site.
Oh, I guess I shouldn't be looking at the pictures.
No. Look at the picture here.
Yeah, right.
What is in front of us?
That's an NSX.
An NSX with the ugliest, worst wheels in all of
Ever.
creation.
Yes.
Like these wheels are
those are
terrible.
They're large. They're blingy. They're very chromy.
They're terrible.
They're heavy.
Okay.
They
look
don't
like
fit. They don't fit in there. That's obviously a Miami car.
What is that?
That is a boat.
Jet boat.
That is like some sort of.
It's not a jet. There's no jet. It's an inboard with a V drive, but a big V8.
Are you sure it's not a jet? It looks like a jet down there.
You can see a rudder. You can see a rudder right there. So it's an inboard, but it's a V drive. So the transmission's in front of the motor.
It looks so unsafe.
The
it looks like
under the middle. Yeah.
It looks like a child's, like a toy.
Toy, absolutely.
No, yeah,
it's green.
It's a death machine.
It's going to kill people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But it's going to look awesome doing it.
What is this?
It's a
C3
C3 Corvette.
C3 Corvette
C3 track
with,
special
with a cage
and T-tops.
And it looks like you entered the car by the T-tops. I don't know what's going on here.
Yes, I would assume so.
All right, motorcycle.
Okay, it's boring.
All right. Yeah.
Dynaglide.
Harley. Yeah.
It's a Harley. No one cares.
That is a gorgeous
this is the one I kind of, square body, regular cab, short bed.
It's my favorite color.
Terrible
electric
wheels
green,
again,
terrible wheels. I think they're the
Needs to
same
be
wheels
lower.
as the NXS.
Probably.
It's lowered.
They might move them.
Ooh, Impala SS.
Donnie.
So he has got a.
They're the same wheels. Aren't they the same
They are the
wheels?
same wheels.
Yeah.
They are the same big ass chrome. This is a Caprice. This is an Armadillo year Caprice.
Does not own all of these.
That is not
this
a Caprice.
Not...
That is an Impala SS.
Oh, is it? No.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it is. Go back. That is an Impala SS.
That's an Impala SS.
Oh, it is. You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ginormous boat.
That's like a 45-foot fountain.
Yes. A chopper.
That is
Another
a
electric
Vice.
green. He obviously loves electric green.
That's
And
okay.
chrome.
Go back to the boat because that is a Miami Vice
Oh,
drug smuggling.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Except it's just plain white. It needs to say like razzle dazzle on it.
Exactly.
It needs like
Teal
14
and pink.
14
Show me your
different,
tits or something has to be the name of the boat. I don't know.
with the title Real Estate with REAL. Yeah.
Old signs. No idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got a totally awesome garage.
Oh, is
There's
that-
the Reggie Fountain boat.
Okay.
That looks
There
great.
is your
right?
race boat.
There's a boat.
It's a
That's an
Warcraft. It's
offshore
offshore.
racer boat.
Does it
There's-
have cannons out the back?
Does it
Yes.
appear to be? They may be turbines actually.
That is in fact a turbine race boat.
Oh,
like this
is that really a
Budweiser.
turbine? Listen,
Yes,
Yes, that is an offshore
you're right.
super boat.
That's turbine powered.
I do not
boat.
believe that this guy owns
I
all
don't
these
think so
things.
either. I
he
think
just took
this one.
pictures from the internet.
This one is cut from a catalog.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
so.
it is.
Hey, that's
A
And the
Ford
Ford
Ranger
a
Splash.
Ranger.
Although that is wait,
that's in front of somebody's house, and there's
oh, wait,
no way
but that's
it's
in front of
guy's house.
somebody's house. No, not this guy's house. That is. We saw another picture with that guy's house in the front.
Yeah, and this truck comes up later. This Bronco
Lifted Tahoe.
Tahoe in the back.
Yeah.
So the bag. I don't even know what this is.
That's the jet boat.
That's the jet boat
turbine,
motor. Yeah.
This is so confusing.
Another
look,
motorcycle.
there's the NSX.
But there's the NSX.
Okay,
These
and that's the same house.
Same house.
This might be the guy's house.
Oh, that's weird.
That's the broest of bro dozers.
The biggest bro dozers.
And I still think it's the same wheels.
I think this is the same Corvette.
Yeah, it's a
from earlier
Corvette.
Pro mod looking Corvette.
Hold on. How is that thing not a 8-second Corvette?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. And he claims to have, quote, sold all of his race cars. So what is this?
That is totally a race car.
There's the NSX again with the big black
in the back.
The monster truck back there and the same house. A picture of putting it on a trailer. Who trailers that?
Well, how else are you going to get it places?
Yeah. And it has to, what's funny is once it gets up, it has to go sideways because it won't fit in the lanes. There's the Reggie Fountain Miami Vice boat.
Yeah.
That boat is so big.
And then like the bonus bone stock Silverado ever.
LT, like with the black.
That's where we started, right?
A C5.
A C5.
FRC.
Oh, right. Right. So that's the house. No, that's the same house.
Wait. Minibus.
Wheelchair.
Out of nowhere. Wheelchair minibus.
I need that.
And then I think this is the same,
same
truck
color.
but painted
Lifted
green.
Tahoe.
I think it's the lifted Tahoe that was black, now it's green. So,
He's got a
okay.
thing for green. That is
All right.
legitimately a green.
Real quick. You happen to have a 5 or 6 second car. You're going to walk into this dude. You're going to make a deal. Which one do you want? Round the horn, go.
Oh, well,
you can't pick the NSX.
If I have that kind of stupid money, I'm right out of the gate. I'm taking the Reggie Fountain boat.
Yeah, I mean, if we're even trading,
not that one.
I'll go for a boat because
that one, yeah.
Oh, I want the death boat.
Turbine, yeah.
No,
the little green one.
Bathtub. That was the word I was looking for. The bathtub. I kind of like that truck.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, the bathtub.
This is the one you want, huh?
I mean, not really. It's just.
I don't know. Call me Donnie, but this one is singing to me. I don't know.
But it's not worth.
But not for the value. Yeah, exactly.
Car, no.
Exactly.
Right.
You better throw in a.
It's like what of these crazy cars do you
I'll take the little boat and then this. Maybe I don't know. That's it. I just wanted to show there is some wacky stuff on RacingJunk.com.
Oh my gosh.
You've got to go there.
RacingJunk.com. It really is a wonderful way to spend your time. They got the tech artists, they got this, and then just the infamous what if.
Yeah. So they also have giveaways. The Gearhead Coffee is still up. The modal products, the 700 horsepower LS Bronski race motor giveaways are all happening. Keep going. Upcoming races.
Mental.
Okay.
He's sending you a text. Upcoming races.
Okay.
This is me.
Chris, that's
this is you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was more interested in trying to tell Mental his mic doesn't sound as good as it could. Anyway, this weekend is the Lemon Stunt and Exploding Soiree by Yokohama at MSR Houston. It's 100 cars. 13 of those are BMWs.
It's not so boring.
It's boring, but it's a very skinny boring.
Well, apparently 2 of them are Honda powered.
Now that's exciting.
What?
Yeah, okay. That's at least interesting. All right. 8 Miatas. 7 Hondas, including an 80 Civic wagon and an 88 Civic wagon. So excellent.
Whoa, Wago van.
Yeah.
These are my people. Yeah. There's 4 Porsches and a Caballero, which is, I believe, the GMC version of the El Camino.
Yes.
Yep. An Audi 4000S. That's going to break immediately.
Well, it's going to accelerate really well, right?
Yep. Yeah. Not even. That was the 5000.
That was the 5000. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Plymouth Horizon, a 65 Corvair.
Awesome.
A Crown Vic with hand controls, an AMC Spirit and Gremlin, and not 1, but 2 darts.
This might be the best set of vehicles at a Lemons race in a very long time.
Yeah. What happens when you go to the South and there's cool cars that aren't rusting away?
And the teams in that area are very adventurous. You've got Tetanus, you've got
I think Ginger's bringing out a bunch of teams.
Ginger's bringing out a bunch of teams.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad always has some fun stuff. You escape velocity racing. It's just a great time.
Yep. Speaking of great times, let's do some recent results.
All right. Just recently, we talked about this last week. The Lemons Hell on Wheels rally was featured. They started in San Luis Obispo and ended in San Luis Obispo. The quick version of it is Rover Soul and their 1970 Rover P6 3500S. They were first overall. Second, our friends Dean and Jackie and Sorry for Party Rallying and their 67 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. He posted recently 40 quarts of oil. Over the course.
That's amazing.
I saw that.
It's a 5-gallon bucket of oil.
Yep.
Over the course of 3 days, but zero breakdowns.
Zero breakdowns.
The entire time. And third place, for reasons I still don't understand, but I love these guys for it. Safety third in fact, their actual Lemons race car, the Kim Jong Elantra that has no roof, a big block Hyundai swap. They were in third place. Just what a great time. Check out the Lemons Rally hashtag at All Sanity. And what's also really, really cool is if you've been thinking about doing one of these Lemons rallies and you don't have space. Well, I'm sorry, I'm taking Chris's stuff.
I mean, you're halfway there.
Yeah. And you don't have space for, say, like, I don't know, 2 928s and some other dumb crap at an international pickup truck in your driveway. You can actually sign up and do one of these Lemons rallies and just use a rental. They've created a rental car class. So show up, rent anything but a Nissan Altima, and then compete in one of these rallies in your own class, be competitive, have fun, introduce that significant other to this terrible hobby that actually gets you great people, and just have a great time doing it. I love that idea.
And if you don't,
also going to be in the show notes.
I was going to say, if you don't want to do something boring like a Hyundai Elantra, Toro, you rent it and rent something weird.
Yeah, there you go.
Just saying.
I hope the Kim Jong Elantra did it with the dear leader picture on the top and the North Korean flags. And,
with the digitized penis. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's wonderful.
Listener feedback time. I was waiting. I was like, are they going to say something?
I'm waiting for you. No, if who cares? That just go over.
Yell right over.
Yeah, right. Come on. Chris and I spent, as we said, a beautiful and productive Saturday afternoon at our offsite garage. I challenge our listeners to show pictures of their garage, their storage, and extra points if they got something for offsite storage. Donnie says, do you really want to play this game with someone who has cars that he's never stored, that he's never seen stored in different states? I'm now going to go cry and reevaluate my decisions in life. Albert W. Go ahead.
I was going to say he has a math degree just to count the amount of sorrows he has.
Sure. Albert W. asks us, define a site. I have 6 different locations, including 3 in another state. My phone didn't have any pictures. Phil E said that he was relying on Google Earth to helpfully document his remote storage, and he sent a picture of that. And David E said, I cannot confirm or deny that cars owned by me reside in 4 separate properties, 1.5 of which I may or may not own.
That's good to hear from Phil. I don't think we've heard from Phil E in a long time.
Yeah.
From Rally Baby. We miss you, buddy. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention the epic novel of a post that was posted on our Facebook and I think on our Instagram as a reaction to our question from Porsche lover Eric, if he liked the Rally 914 that Mental Solid SEMA. I'm not going to read it because the show is already long enough, but it was absolutely fantastic. You must go read it. Find the socials.
Jane Duty Jench did not answer our emails when we sent it to her for a dramatic reading.
There you go. That's probably
it. It's a very DJ 914 kind of response. It's beautiful.
It's excellent.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So wrapping up the listener feedback, got a direct message on Facebook from Devin Slagle, and he's asking, what advice would you give to someone racing a front wheel drive for the first time? He's always driven rear wheel drive V8s, and he's expecting some differences. So
I saw there was an answer. Did you type that answer, Mental?
I did.
You did. Okay. Because I know Chris isn't like hanging out on the Instagram. So,
but this is a valid question. You know,
yeah.
Lots of people do this and they start hopping in different cars.
My answer is going to be, when in doubt, floor it. Realistically,
Send it.
Yep.
Mine is similar. I said send it. Toss it harder than you think. I think front wheel drive cars that are set up well need way more steering input than I think you would ever do in a rear wheel drive race car.
Mm-hmm.
Because things are going to wash and you're going to need to, I think, hit it a little harder than you would in something that has more polar moment, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm not coming up with anything too much different. I mean, if it starts to get out of control, stand on the gas. But that's similar to both what you both said.
And that's the exact same thing. I said one of my earliest experiences in a front wheel drive car. I was a young teen, and I drug a Scirocco into an on ramp corner. And as the rear end began to came around, my rear wheel drive instincts told me to come off the gas and tap the brakes, which was exactly the wrong thing to do. And I ended up swapping ends and bending the rear suspension on that. So yes, in a rear wheel drive car, if you stomp on it, you're going to do that. So just, don't be afraid to use that gas to get you out of trouble. It's literally pulling you out rather than
and putting weight transfer to the rear wheels, which are the ones that are sliding to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just stand on it, look where you want to go and steer there.
Don't look where you're going. Look where you want to go.
Look where you want to go, not where you're going.
Yeah.
Oh, the last
Don't look
corner.
at the pole. Don't look at the pole. You'll hit the pole.
Watkins Glen, that last corner. I look at it and just turn. Oh gosh. Okay. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
All right. You know who never looks into the corners? Chrissy's mom.
Who never gets out of control and drives a front wheel drive car and knows where she's going.
She drives a front wheel drive
honestly,
car.
Yes, she does. That's what I just said.
So when I thought you were going to try and land that, I thought there was going to be a reference to pole, and I'm like,
no poles. Hi, Chrissy's mom. Thank you for watching the show, and we're going to move on to our main topic time. Main topic. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I like it when you yell.
Main topic time.
I'm glad somebody does.
I think the acoustics in the living room are better than Jeff's office.
Yes, my office is sound deadening. Yours kind of has an echo.
Oh,
we're going to talk about MSR Houston.
Woo!
Yay.
Who's starting it? Go ahead.
I am. Let's talk about a track that we're not familiar with, but meant to Liz. So this is going to be fun. We're going to learn along with you guys. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about the track. The Mercedes Sugarland Ranch, or MSR Houston. I didn't know what that
Never
stood for.
That's why I put it in.
Okay, good. It is a 2.38 mile road course in Angleton, Texas, about 45 minutes outside of Houston. I
don't even want to say what I heard.
I think we did each come up with other MSR abbreviations.
No, Angleton. I heard something totally different. I was like, never mind. Go on.
Okay. Like NOLA, it's flat, and like Buttonwillow, they have added artificial elevation change in turn 13. We'll talk about that. It is a multi-configuration layout. It has got a lot of different places that you could go on this track, which is probably really good. It can be run both clockwise and counterclockwise, which is fun. Lemon's event this weekend is going to be used the clockwise configuration as well as a full course layout. Expect times in the mid to high 150s for Class A and low 2s for Class C.
Can I say that I think it looks like a dog's skull?
Sure. Yes, it does.
Looks like it's eating the little MSR Houston. Anyway.
But I like courses like this. Because you can have good entrance. You have good vision places to look for stopping and starting. And like they're not the cones. Sometimes you can use those in entrance and exit roads as
the roads
to look
the
for
cutoff roads.
Absolutely, those are some good visual references because, like Buttonwillow, there's just nothing out there. Yeah. So,
do you want to talk about the configuration there? Lemon's event this weekend using clockwise configuration.
She already did.
Oh, she said that. Oh, sorry, missed it.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy. So yeah, we're talking about the race because it's the race this weekend, and right now Friday is forecasted for a high of 80, which is lovely if you're in Jersey right now.
Right?
But then dropping to the 40s at night, which is where we are anyway. So Saturday will drop to 45 with a high of 70. Sunday in the mid 70s. No rain forecasted, but it's the Gulf Coast, so it's going to be humid as hell, and your balls are going to get sweaty. It's just going to happen. Expect dew in the mornings. And I'm not talking about your testicles there. Have something to cover the driver's seat or the whole car, unless you don't mind a wet butt. I'm
going to give my alternate abbreviation for MSR. It's Texas, so it's Man, that sure is racy.
Oh,
You've just thought about that for a good 4 minutes since you talked about this.
Yeah.
oh boy.
So at the facilities, there's plenty of paddock space. It's Texas. That's the one thing they got. And some steers and things. So don't block the fire lanes. Common sense. Don't do it. Garages are available either through the track or if you know somebody, but they're probably all gone. There are some covered awning spots, probably all gone. Power's at a premium, probably all gone. And there are no RV hookups. Oh, well. Garages, power, awning, all handled by the track. You're too late. The bathrooms are by the race shop and another pair of bathrooms at the farthest building behind the penalty box that those have showers, which get busy. Remember what Jeff said about all that ball sweat going right down that drain.
We do have a map.
We do have a map. I'm going to say that my version of MSR is Mr. Sulu's racetrack.
Okay.
Oh, is this the bathrooms?
Yeah, so right here is the bathrooms with the shower.
Oh, very good.
And then
right there by Black Flag.
The other
That's not bad.
bathrooms are over here by the race shop. And
Now, where's most of the paddock?
Like where people are parking.
All of this is paddock. Everything on both sides of the little performance drive, and then all of this
Out into
becomes
the lake there. Okay.
Yes,
Got it.
that is a lake. Yes, and this is go-karting track.
Nice. Where's the concession stand? Doesn't matter. Not open. What? There are a pair of convenience stores just down the road. Are either of them a Buc-ee's?
There's a Buc-ee's in town, but no, it's a Chevron and a Shell.
I gotta go to a Buc-ee's, everybody. Otherwise, you're heading to town for the usual fast food fare. Premium is $3.90 a gallon because Texas. Angleton also has a Walmart and an HEB. What's an HEB?
That is a Texas-based grocery chain, and they actually have a lot of fresh produce. It's pretty solid.
All right, there it is. I have no idea. I've been to Texas. I've never been outside the cities. I've been to Dallas. Anyway.
The race itself will have hot pit fueling. No fueling in the paddock when the track is hot. There is a test day that's being put on by the track Friday 9 to 5. You can sign up at the track front office. There will be a track walk scheduled for Friday night, 5:30 to 6:30 with no motorized vehicles. Go on it. Do it. Scuff the ground. Lay on it. Turn around. Have a good time. Go slow, but not too slow.
Mental, is it dusty there?
No. Well,
no. Okay.
Compared to the butt, no.
Well, nothing is dusty like the butt, but this is Texas and it is Houston, but the satellite photos look like it's kind of green.
No, yeah, no, it is, and it'll stay green. It's not as dusty because it's usually moist.
Oh, damp, moist. Got it. All right. Mental, do you want to share and talk about the turns here?
Yes, if
Since
that
you
is
actually
all right with you guys, I'm going to come over here and get my screen share going. See if I can make this work. Now, the first thing we're looking at is, and you can go to the Google Maps. This is a satellite overview of the actual track, so you can see it's a fairly substantial bit of pavement.
I like the
have
sand trap in the middle.
It's the lake, but yes.
Okay.
Or it's the pond, the drainage is going on there. So this will be the pit area. This was the map that we were showing earlier, but the track is actually numbered. If you look at the map, it's numbered counterclockwise. So as we talk, we're going to go through the numbers backwards. So if I say, then you go from 14 into 13, you'll understand why.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, because they numbered it counterclockwise.
And then you're running clockwise. Yeah, I get it.
Absolutely. So what we want to talk about first, as we so often do, is actually how you're going to get onto the track. Now, if we go back to, I got to bring up some more pictures here. All right, I'm trying to get this to work. If we go to the map that I have in the show notes, which of course, yeah. All right. So you go to the entrance. There are a set of 2-story garages that are available out there for folks to use, and you're going to enter the track by those 2-story garages.
Do you want to share the map, or do you want?
I do. I'm trying to find.
Do you want me to share the map?
Nope.
Okay,
got it. Okay, so we share right there. So you'll see, and I've got it labeled pit entry. So that's where you enter onto the hot pits along there, which runs along pit lane. And then you're going to proceed out on the other side of the sand trap, a narrow road, which will drop you onto the racetrack. So as we go through that, now that's how you're going to get onto the track. You'll follow that around.
Okay, I didn't see your cursor for a while. I just wanted to make sure it was.
Sorry, yes, I'm about to reshare a different map because
okay.
I moved my cursor. So you're going to drive around there, and as you enter actually onto the track from the hot pits, it is going to put you on the road by turn coming into 15. All right, where did all right, I'm trying to make. Oh, here we go. Share screen. God,
I just want to say that I get heat from my wires, but nobody ever gives mental heat for sharing.
Well, have I done this 216 times? Okay. All right. Now on the screen right now, we should be able to see a track map. So you're
the doggy is eating the MSR.
The doggy is eating. You're entering onto 16, onto 15. Now, I think 15, I don't like the phrase throwaway corner, but you use 15 to set it for 14, which they call gut check. But as you're entering onto the track, look off to your left. There's a flag station there, and they're going to let you know if there's any problems as you start to go into this high-speed straightaway. So you roll into this. Now, this is mostly a flat foot corner. If you're in a high-powered car and the rear end starts to step out on you, don't just yank your foot off the gas and stab the brakes, front or rear wheel drive, because it is flat and you are going to swap ends. If you remember the ballad of the infamous $500 My Ass Mustang from Battle Scarred Motorsports last year, that's exactly what happened. So if you find your rear end stepping out, just slowly back off the throttle. And what you're doing is making sure you are set up for the high-speed entry into 13, which is known as a launch. This is that artificial elevation change that Chrissy talked about. So you're accelerating towards a launch. Now, as you are coming into this, my personal theory is I do not like to go through this corner with anyone around me, not because I don't know what I'm doing, but because there's a good chance someone else doesn't know what they're doing. They either underestimate how light their car gets, overestimate their traction, and if it's raining, it all gets even worse. There's a downhill right as you crest this hill, and folks are going to get squirrely. As you crest this hill, you can't see the racetrack, resist the urge to try and yank on the wheel. That's what people like to do. Instead, what you want to do is be on the throttle and have a steady input. In a crowd, if you have a choice, try to go over this on the side for exactly the reasons we talked about. Is if they start to get squirrely, they tend to push to the outside. You've got a clear track as you're coming out of 13, get down, get inside on the passenger side and put it on the curb. And as you're settling, brake a little bit just to settle the nose and turn hard towards the turn 12 apex, which is going to be a left. Now, some folks are going to try and stab the throttle between 13 and 12, and that might work for a sprint race or a time trial, but this is an endurance race, and you're really going to immediately lose any advantage you might gain in tire wear or brake wear, or just even overheat it. Now, turn 12 is basically a 90-degree back to the left. Bring the car all the way out, set it up for turn 11, which is known as the keyhole. And that is a gentle arcing 180-degree turn. Logic tells you, start on the outside, go to the inside, go back to the outside. But the pavement at MSR Houston is very old, has been repaired a lot. And in turn 11, counter to your intuition, just get to the inside and stay to the inside because that's where the grip is. There's a slight drop off on the track right there. Hook your wheel in, hug the inside all the way around. Also pay attention as you're getting ready to cut back to left for turn 10. There's a flag station off on your driver's side.
Would you say this is a good place to ditch hook those front tires? Like,
yes,
all the way to the edge of the pavement?
But yes, onto the edge of the pavement. The gators at MSR, because it is flat and there's a lot of flooding and stuff like that, if you get up on them, they don't offer a lot of traction. They can't upset the car. And if you go over them, it is grabbing your car and damaging something. So I'm not going to say ditch hook, but I'm going to say get the wheels in tight.
Got it.
Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. That's cool. So, and that's what we're just talking about right there. So, on exit, yeah, sure, get a little bit of curbing, but don't get on that leading edge. It's rough. And I don't like any of the curbing, getting on any of the curbing at MSR, but your mileage is your mileage.
So are the yellow dots on this, are they the flag stations?
Yes,
because you said that was a flag station. Okay, good.
So yeah, right there's a flag station. So as you're coming into 10, now you do got a short straightaway, and you can muscle up on some slower cars. It's a good place, especially if you set up properly as you're coming out of 10 to get around someone. So it's 90 degree back to the left, get on the apex, get on the gas, get on that short stop, and then you're coming into what's called the bus stop, which is a quick 90 right and then a 90 left. And that's turn 9 is the first part of this. Trail brake if you had the skill set into this. If you don't, this is actually a good place to learn it. Just start pushing deeper and deeper into those braking zones. You should really feel like you're going too fast. This is how you know you're getting that turn right. It's looks like a decreasing radius. It's fairly standard. Tuck that right wheel in there and then scrub that speed off, and that's going to set you up for 8, which is just a snap back to it. There is a little bit of paved runoff over there. Folks are going to try to go in there too deep. You can, but I wouldn't do it unless it's a really, really, really slow car. As you exit 8, it's another hard short left. It is just under 90 degrees, so it opens up a little sooner than you want, and you want to be on that gas at exit. Don't just stomp on the gas. Think about rolling onto the gas really as you're at the apex, and then on there, and experiment with how much gas you're going to be able to add. And as you are exiting turn 8, setting up into the power sweeper of turn 7, there is a flag station on the right. Keep an eye on that one. Now, 7 is a power sweeper that leads into the back straightaway. And I'm going to come back over here to our map and get down here a little bit, see if I can get this to cooperate with me. I don't know how well this is showing up on the screen. So you're coming on there.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah. So as you're coming into 7, really, you don't need to do any braking on that because you're coming out of a slow corner. Get the car set. Do the outside, inside, outside again, get on that throttle, let her dig in, and that really sets you up for the back straightaway as you're coming all the way down there.
Is the back straightaway faster than the other straights?
Yes.
It looks longer, but I also see the front straight into the carousel into the pit straight. So I don't know which one would be faster.
Yes. The back straightaway is longer because you've got a much better lead in into 7. And we're going to talk about how you can keep that speed and go deeper into the exit of the back straightaway in just a couple of seconds. Now, as you're coming into this power sweeper, you're setting up on there, hug the inside, and it's a great place for sorting out traffic. But as we've said on other podcasts, if you're setting up for a pass, check your mirrors because you are also somebody else's slower car. Make sure you don't just dart out in front of somebody and go through there. But it's a good place for a lot of traffic to sort out. If you find you get pinched in 9 and 8 and you're like, just breathe for a second. You'll have plenty of time to pass as you come down the back straightaway. Now, as you come off the back straightaway, it is actually a 4-turn numbered complex, but a lot of people tell you it's just 2 turns because if you execute it properly, they should all just flow into each other. So entering 6, my personal approach is I just stay outside and stay on the gas, letting the car scrub speed off as I'm adding in the turn. If there's nobody around, I might get close to the inside to set it for the apex, but really before I even get to 6, I'm already thinking about 5. Now, as you're coming into 5, a lot of folks will actually try and treat this like a single corner from 5 to 4, and they're going to ignore the apex on 5 and then spend all of their time setting up for the apex on 4. This is what I do. I actually come into 6, high speed, focus on the apex to 5 if it's clear, roll into there, and then go wide into 4 because this allows you to get on the gas sooner. And that's going to come into play as you exit out of 4 into 3. And most people are trying to exit apex 4. If you go to the outside of them after you've done this, you're carrying a lot higher energy state. It looks ugly, but it's a great way to get around some folks on the outside. And as you both are coming out, even though they took a shorter course, you're carrying more speed, you're carrying more momentum, and you're going to win the drag race into 3, which if you exit 4 properly, you don't have to back off the throttle that much for because you're coming through this. And then that sets you up for what is called the front straight, even though it's on the back half of the race course. Another great place, check your mirrors, sort out traffic. This is a really good place to get that sweep of the gauges across, make sure everything's going to be fine with the car because you're coming up on pit exit. Any questions? This all making sense? Or
no, it all looks good.
All right, so let me come back over here. So we're coming down this front straightaway through here, entering into the carousel. Now the carousel, if you're not watching this on YouTube, this is damn near probably 200 degrees of total turn on a smooth, steady arc all the way across. And the catch is there's not a lot of good visual references. So as I'm coming into the carousel, which is turn 2, I tried to find several things that I'm going to look at, and I'm going to look at there. Right on the entry, I stay wide coming into it, and there's the first of 3 access roads is going to pass by you on the right, and that's when I start making the slight adjustment to bring it towards the inside. There's a flag station right there. That's also a good one. A lot of folks miss it, and if there's anything nasty that happened on the front straightaway, this is your first indication, so you're going to want to make sure you catch that flag station. As you come into there, get a good set. And any slight adjustments you need to make to the car, you should be doing those with the throttle. Try not to use the steering wheel because it's very bumpy, it's very rough, and if you've got the suspension loaded up, you just want to keep it without making radical adjustments. You'll pass 2 more access roads after the flag station on your right. And after the second one, there's a bit of a dip as it goes to a different track surface. It is unsettling. Try not to yank on the wheel a bunch as you do this. The carousel, turn 2, is also where pit entrance is. And they will have all of the cones lined up. And if you watch the YouTube video that we've included, you'll see those cones. They'll last every bit of 5 or 6 laps before they all get kicked onto the straightaway and caught up under your car. So keep an eye out for those. As the car is kind of dancing a little bit, don't tense up. Keep the hands on the wheel, but loosen up a little bit. Just let the wheel dance. You're not going to go anywhere that bad. You don't want to turn early for turn 1, which is the right-hander that enters onto the main straightaway. If you try to turn early, you're going to end up having to correct it halfway through the corner and end up on the outside of the wall. And that's going to happen to someone this weekend. All right. It happens a lot. Folks get in there. They try to turn early to 1. So if you're scaring yourself and you're feeling, I got to turn now, just adjust your speed until you're comfortable with the line that you're using. And then you'll be able to pick up the speed and stay on that same line. But that's the right that takes you back onto the main straightaway. Also bumpy, does not have the same grip. There's a lot of concrete there, and the marbles tend to gather up. Now, as you're going down the pit straightaway, if you're not passing anyone, get close to the wall. There are brake markers as you get down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I will usually go all the way to the 1 unless I'm having some sort of brake issues, and I would do that in just about everything. Experiment, make sure you're comfortable with it, but your braking should be that you are on maximum braking right before you turn to make the turn into 17. Don't try to clip the corner of 17. The apex is probably about 3 feet out into the turn. 17 and 16 are 2 separate turns. Done right, though, you do it with 1 steering input as you're coming around. So you trail brake into 17, turn in where your steering input stays the same, keep the car settled. If you start back on and off the wheel, yanking it, the car's going to get unsettled and you're going to lose a lot of time, and it's going to screw you for the acceleration 15 into 14 as we come back around again. Don't sweat that apex of 17. Focus more on smooth movement all the way through that. And the key to that is between 16 and 17, really there's a middle lane, like a middle part of the track. And that's just really where you want to set the car as you're coming around.
That's okay. Interrupt real quick.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I had my hand up and you didn't get to me.
You're minimized on my screen. I'm looking at the map in my notes.
So on this map, the map that we're looking at, by the way, if you're listening to this podcast, go to the YouTube and look at the pictures. You're not going to be able to see the funny little dog head eating the MSR Houston sign.
We'll also have a link to the map. It's on the MSR Houston website.
True. So in the pit straight, or front, whatever we're calling it, the start stop straight, it gets really wide in this picture, and I have a feeling that that's not the actual racing surface. What they're showing is all the pit here. Okay.
No.
Does it get that wide?
It does. It doesn't get as wide as this. They are showing the pit, but it does get wide.
Okay.
And I'm glad you said something because I missed also there's an overhanging treehouse of a flag station on the start stop line, and that's your other black flag. Your first black flag is usually either 12 or 10.
So turn 1 is like it opens the carousel opens up to like almost like skid pad size set of pavement here.
Yes. And there's some no man's land on the right. That's
not useful.
No, it's not useful. It can keep you off the grass, but don't drive on it because it just sets you up for failure. But if the car steps out on you, you've got some save it space.
If you go to the aerial picture, it's right behind it. That'll probably show more of what Jeff is looking for as a differentiation between the pit lane and
okay.
the track
Yeah.
itself. You can see the curbing there on the outside.
Oh, yeah. So the curbing really does come in a lot.
Yes, compared to the rest of it.
And yes, good call, Chris. Thank you very much.
It widens, but it doesn't widen to massive like it looks in the picture.
Yeah.
And you can go over this, like this no man's land that I'm talking about is this stuff out here. But you can kind of come over this. You shouldn't really need to, though. You set yourself up and then just drive right along the straightaway there. And then, of course, this is the pit entrance as you're coming through. And then that sets you up to come down the main straightaway. There's the flag station on the main straightaway, but you do see that it's wider. There's some space there as you're coming into this. And this is all paved, but it's not all usable pavement not in the legal sense, but in the sense of, is it worth a crap? And that's 16 and 17.
Yeah. But on that other map, it didn't actually, once you get past 17 or whatever that is, it does that. The other map looks like it's skinny again. So the pavement, the aerial is correct, easy to see in one side, but it is worse to see in another side. None of this matters. If you're looking at the map, go look at the map. Everybody, stop listening
Chris,
to us.
I appreciate you telling me that. Yeah, and this does not display how much of a ridiculous elevation change it is, and it's just literally like this kind of hump right there in the middle of the track, and I think it only exists to upset suspension.
But they call it the launch, so you know what their intention was.
And in a WRL race a number of years ago, it was pouring down rain, and I came over this launch. There was a situation developing there. I went both feet in, and I ended up somewhere about here in the swamp. I actually had to stay there because it was dark. I was there for about 10 minutes because the recovery truck had no idea I was there.
Wow.
I hit the grass and accelerated. It was like the TR going off at Pittsburgh. So that's interesting. That is there. We've got a link to a Lotus Elise doing a hot lap there, and he runs about a 145. And there's some good references there. You can see what I'm talking about. This is actually a really good track to start experimenting some of those things that we've talked about: trail braking, adjusting your inputs, adjusting where you turn in, braking later, because you can see everything. You don't have to worry about coming around a corner and seeing an accident that was blocked by trees or a hill. So it's a good place to experiment. And because it's almost 2 full minutes, you're not going to give that much up by even making a 10-second experimental mistake on 1 or 2 laps.
Yeah. I heard a lot of surface things, like know that the surface here is good and the surface here is bad and the surface here is good. And I heard almost nothing about off camber, on camber. So even the track is not only flat, but it's even flat. Is that what I'm hearing?
Mostly, except for like the keyhole where we talked about, there is a slight a bend there, but no, the track is mostly flat.
Flat is flat.
And it has to do with just the numerous repairs on top of repairs on top of repairs.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid also to experiment, find out where the good pavement is, and God forbid if it starts raining, whole new calculation. Everything changes.
I think the track walk is going to be incredibly important to be able to feel this surface.
Yes,
so,
and the whole surface, because it is kind of harsh weather down there. The whole surface it's CMP. It is going to eat your tires.
Yeah, sandpaper. Bring extra tires,
CMP.
everybody.
Yes, old CMP. Sorry.
Especially with the big long carousel and the keyhole where you're just sitting there hanging out.
Just waiting.
Yep.
You've got a steady state throttle. You've just hooked it and you're loading up your outside tires. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions about MSR? Chrissy, you didn't give us your version of MSR.
I've been thinking about it. I have not the whole time. I've thought about it and come back, and I have not yet come up with.
All right, listeners, please send us a message. Tell us what you think MSR stands for. And that will be our only thing that we discuss next week for listener feedback. I'm joking. I don't know if we're
Sure, someday.
I'm going to say it stands for Mike Sucks Rocks.
Ooh, I wonder who Mike is. And
I have no idea who Mike is.
Now he's mad at you.
Mike,
don't get pissed off. He didn't mean it.
He's too busy sucking rocks.
I wanted to use my as my first one, but
that's a good one.
I couldn't come up with an appropriate S. Yes.
My superior race car.
Oh, I like that.
See? That's good.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up then. If anyone has any anything better what MSR stands for or any interesting things to say about MSR Houston, hit us up on all the social media, throw us an email, and maybe we'll read about it.
And also some of the locals, if you think I got this wrong, correct me. Absolutely correct me, and we will incorporate it into next year's show.
Awesome. All right. Do we know what we're doing next? Chrissy, do we have a just a tip? Or
we do.
Okay, good. I know we already did it around the horn. We already did, so it's like this extra
quick
games. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do I have to say my own? Normally I get some fanfare around here, and all of a sudden now I've just be like, oh, today we're gonna have just a tip.
My trombone is in the
Hi, welcome to the Delicious Dish. It's time for just the tip.
I'll give you one of these. Rare.
Oh, rare. That's concerning. Okay, great. Okay, so we talked a little bit
complaining about Carol Baskin now. Jeff?
We already started talking about this actually, but it's very timely. As the holidays approach, National Seatbelt Day is on November 14th. It encourages everyone to buckle up to save lives. No matter where you sit in a vehicle, wearing a seatbelt is proven to save lives. Just over 90% of Americans buckle up, saving an estimated of 15,000 lives each year. However, according to the NTHSA, the National Highways Traffic Safety Administration, 47% of passengers' fatalities in 2017 were not restrained. Seatbelts are proven to reduce the risk of serious injury and save lives. It's been 60 years since the invention of the three-point seat belt, and this restraint has saved hundreds of thousands of lives. Since then, the industry has added advanced safety devices to automobiles. However, alone, many of these advancements may not save a life unless the seatbelt restrains the driver and the passenger. Airbags, for example, work most effectively when paired with a proper seatbelt use. On its own, the force of the airbag can be can be fatal without restraining hold of a seatbelt. During the holiday travel of the season and every season, be sure everybody buckles up and everybody arrives safely so they can celebrate appropriately. Also, in case you care, Sunday is also National Pickle Day and Spicy Guac Day.
Spicy guac!
Hell
yeah!
Not safety related. Okay, Mantle, what did you have to say?
I got something to say too. So
your point about the force of the airbag. It is actually a shotgun shell. That is what deploys an airbag. So if you want that in your face, don't wear a seatbelt.
I don't need a seatbelt. I want to get thrown clear of the accident.
That's right.
How does someone get rid of an airbag?
Sit on it.
I've talked about
with the helmet.
How I do it, but yes.
We have two that need to be disposed of, and we can't find anywhere we'll take them. We can't find anywhere that will take them.
Stereo wire.
I know.
A battery. Put it in the front yard. It's hilarious.
Omar in a seat with his helmet on. I'll do it. I'll fly.
I just set them off by themselves. I don't put anybody on top of them. That's horrible.
No, because then Chris has to call your wife and say, "I'm sorry."
We'll do it on the grass.
Jeff's butt is gone right now because he decided to sit on.
There'll be something, but I'll be on a seat. It's not going to blow through the seat into my anus.
No, but if you want a shotgun shell's worth of percussion going through your,
it's fine.
Pokey bits.
It's all fine.
You were going to say something derailed because it's bad.
I was going to say, who the hell's not wearing their seatbelt?
I don't know.
If you don't wear your seatbelt, stop listening to this podcast.
But just do it.
That's like drinking and driving. Like, who does that anymore? Come on.
Hey, if you don't wear your seatbelt, we can fire off an airbag under your butt and you can see what it's like. We got three.
Just wear your goddamn seatbelt, okay?
I'm told Chris has an idea of what we're going to do next week.
He does?
We might.
I totally do.
We didn't tell you guys yet.
No, I'm ready. I'm excited.
I'll tell you guys right now. This is entirely inspired by Mental.
Oh,
it's time for story time of bad automotive decisions you've made. We'll each talk about some bad decisions we've made and tell some stories because we all have them. So do you all.
Send them to us. Actually,
time.
tell us dumb things you've done. Tom, don't bother. We already know.
Yeah, really.
But everyone else.
Oh, I have multiple.
That's a great idea. I love that.
What would you rather have? Really shitty German cars or really shitty Italian cars? German every time. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know about that.
Let me know what is your problem. Yeah, that's cool. We're excited. I'll say thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us at what did I say MSR was?
In the world.
What did I say?
My Sweet Ride.
My Sweet Ride. No.
Man That Sure Is Racing.
Man That Sure Racing track. That's good. And join us in the world of driving, racing, and building because everyone can be a racer. Even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. If you're watching on YouTube, not only click the little linky to like, subscribe, hit that smash the subscribe button, hit the little bell, do whatever you gotta do because you gotta watch it here. Anyway, drop a comment or give us a show idea on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us, everyone.racers@gmail.com. Again, in the doodly-doo, if you're watching, right down there in the doodly-doo. If you're watching the YouTube, what are you showing me there?
My phone. You can still text us.
Oh, you can text. Well, I'm getting there. I'm not there yet.
The only person that texts me is Tyler Stank.
Oh, you can still text us at 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram or Twitter at everyone.racers or YouTube and Facebook at Everyone Racers. Even Reddit at /E1R. Woo woo! Am I the only one who's posted on there? Probably. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless you just came from Button Willow, then it's all just dusty as frick and just keep those wheels down.